I'm building a road across the ocean, and it started because of this. It was my first base. I called it Hong Kong because that's what it turned into, basically a Chinatown. A messy underground market with everything crammed into it, and then skyscrapers stacked on top of that. It works, sort of. I built it one problem at a time and never planned any of it. And at some point I stopped being able to find anything in my own company. So I did what every business does when the head office becomes unusable. I moved. To be fair to Hong Kong, it did its job. It's where the company started. Everything I know about building in this game, I learned by getting it wrong there. But it's chaos. There's no zoning, storage is next to production, which is next to housing. The underground looks like a market that's been running for 40 years without anyone cleaning up. And there's one thing it doesn't have: oil. I need crude oil. Everything I want to build next runs on it, and Hong Kong has none. So the search was for somewhere with oil, somewhere close enough to reach easily, and somewhere that actually looks good. Because the long-term plan is mini Tokyo on Sakura Island, and before I build that, I want to build a smaller Japanese island first. Practice run. Sunlit Isle. Oil on site, close enough to the old base that moving materials isn't a nightmare, and it looks right for what I want to build. Problem is, it's small, and it's not flat. Neither of those is flexible in the normal sense because this game does not let you flatten terrain. So I'm not going to fix the ground, I'm going to build over it. Here's the plan. I build a glass structure across the whole island, sitting above the terrain, and that gives me one perfectly flat level to work from. It also gives me something I didn't expect, because once there's a floor above the ground, there's a space underneath it, and a space underneath it is somewhere I put my staff. So what the glass level becomes, not a foundation, a habitat. Everyone lives down there, all the workstations, all the beds, all the production underneath the island. And then I sealed it. Stone over the top of the whole thing, edge to edge. From above there is no facility. There's a platform, clean, flat, empty, ready to build on. You would not know anyone works here. There's one way in and it's from the side. You have to fly into it. A friend of mine looked at this and said I'd built the Iron Man house, which I hadn't thought about, but he's not wrong. Hidden facility, staff underground, secret entrance you can only reach by air. The difference is Tony Stark pays his people. So now I got a flat platform, a hidden workforce, and a clean start. And I ran out of island almost immediately. The whole reason I moved was to get space, and Sunlit Isle is small. I leveled the entire thing and it's still not enough for what I want to build on top of it. And then I remembered the aquatic kit. You can build on water in this game, I knew that. I had not connected it to my actual problem until I was standing at the edge of my own platform looking at the sea. So the island stops being the limit, the island is just where the platform starts. The hard part is height. Everything I place over the water has to line up exactly with the platform I've already built. And the game does not make that easy. One piece off, a fraction, and the whole line is wrong. I spent a genuinely embarrassing amount of time on the first few pieces getting the level right. After that, it's just repetition. And repetition is where I get into trouble, because once you can build across water, the question stops being how much space do I need, it becomes how far can this go? Right, so this is the moment the video stops being about a base. I'm standing on the edge of my own platform over the ocean and I can see another island in the distance. And I think I could just keep going. Two things in my head at this point. One is the Great Wall of China, which given my staffs makes this the Great Palworld. The other one is Snake Way, the road from Dragon Ball that Goku runs along that just goes on and on into nothing until he reaches the King Kai's planet. But Both of those are stupid reasons to start a construction project. I started the construction project. Pillars first, down into the water, then the road on top. It's not complicated, it's just long. Place a line, and slowly the island behind me gets smaller. At some point in this, I stopped thinking about it as a route to somewhere and started thinking about it as a thing I was building for its own sake, which is roughly how every large piece of infrastructure in history has gone. There's no deadline on this, no timer, nobody asked for it, my staff are sealed underground and have no idea it's happening. Still building. Scouring Island. There was no plan behind this one. I picked a direction, started building, and this is what was in that direction. That's the entire selection process. This is the snake way bit. Genuinely, I'm just running and it keeps going and there's water on both sides and nothing else. There's like a couple of minutes to run the full length. That's the road, and standing at the end of it, looking back, I realized what this actually is. It's not a bridge between two islands, it's the first section. Because the company doesn't have one base, it's got several, and they're all separate, and they all sit there doing their own thing with no connection between them. So the plan now is to connect all of them. Every base I own, joined by one road. Built by my own construction company, staffed by people who live underground and have never seen it. Meanwhile, the platform's roughly twice the size it was, and the Japanese buildings are going up. This is the practice island. Small city first, then mini Tokyo on Sakura Island. Next section starts from here. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Press like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I will keep building and connecting cities, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, bye.